Whoa, what's going on, party people? We're feeling good, feeling strong, feeling freaking glorious today. Man, it's a beautiful day out. It's like 40 degrees, and I couldn't ask for a better day to train some freaking legs. So before we continue, if you like the videos and you like stuff like this, you just want to listen to it while you're training or driving or doing whatever, like, comment, share, and subscribe. It helps us out tremendously. You know we're on a mission to try to use ad revenue from all these videos to make everybody's lives significantly better, do food donations, things like that, help those in need, and not donate it to charities. They're going to take all the money and put it in their pocket. We're going to do some good, and I'm looking forward to it, man, but we can't do it without you. I'm not looking for your money. Just share the video, subscribe, help bring more people into the channel, and that's how we do it. Let the ad pay for it, right? Why you? So anyway, we're heading to the gym right now to train some legs. We're passing by a home right now, and that house. Now that house, during Christmas time, they had originally what I thought was the biggest blow-up Christmas decoration I've ever seen. It was a Grinch with a Santa hat on, obviously, and I looked at that thing. I saw it on my way turning onto the parkway every day because it must have been 40 feet tall. And I'm not exaggerating, like it towered over the home. So, I don't know who his wife is that allowed him to do that, because that sounds like something I'd be like, hey babe, I'm gonna get a blow up bigger than the house. And she'd say something like, yeah, okay, sure, and then he does it. But it gets better because they had that one, and then maybe a week later they had a Santa Claus that was even bigger. That thing must have been 50, and I mean 50 feet tall, and like 15 feet wide on the bottom. It took up the two of those things took up their entire lawn. Dude, it was crazy. I'd crack up every time I'd pass by. And then eventually I don't know, I'm so invested in them because it's madness. And then they got, I'm not sure if you saw this year, one of the really big plastic reindeer, maybe 5 foot tall, something like that, but it was huge. It was like 6 feet long. And I always ask myself, I'm like, where do people, because blow-ups I get, right? You put them in a box, it's not that hard to find, not that hard to put away. But that 6 foot plastic reindeer, I'm like, where do people store this stuff all year round? You know, you get a storage unit, whatever, but it's kind of a pain. So sure enough, I was like, I wonder where this guy's gonna put everything, because that'll take up half your garage, you know? You walk in your garage, you can put maybe a motorcycle and a reindeer in there to ride around on the holidays. So they were doing work on the house one day, and there was a big dumpster, commercial dumpster out there, and I saw the reindeer in there, because he realized the same thing. He's like, where am I going to put this damn thing? At least that's a story I like to stick to, but man, I always get a crack out of it. So one of the biggest blessings we have about the winter is I can run to the grocery store if I'm busy later on the way to the gym, leave all the meats and stuff in the car, and I'm good. Because I know it's not going to go bad. It's plenty cold outside where I'll be all right, you know? Maybe crack a window just as an insurance policy, but, you know, when it's 20, 30 degrees out, 40, I'm pushing it a little bit, but I'm not going to be in there all day, so it'll be fine. But man, it helps out for sure. So we're heading now to Smash a Leg Day. I'm not sure if you saw the video I put up yesterday for fitness hacks for busy entrepreneurs, busy CEOs, and so on and so forth. This guy is not looking where he's going. Come on, dum-dum. You gotta let the stupid people in, because they don't see you, right? You see them. They're in their own little la-la land world. And if you don't let them in, they'll smash right into you. 1,000-year-old woman. What do you expect? But, here's what I'm thinking today. We're gonna go in there, warm-up extensions, hack squat, leg press, into some RDLs. The RDLs gave me a little bit of trouble last week because of my toe, just for balance purposes. So I'd usually go to 315, but I had to stop at 225, and it was feeling a little iffy, if you will. There into calf raises. The calf raises, again, because of my toe, I always go on the donkey calf raise, and I love that freaking thing. But I would start with, what would I start with, 300? Yeah. I'd go to 300 pounds, 400 pounds, and it maxes out at 400, and then I would put 2 plates on each side. So going up to about 600 pounds on there, give or take, right? I don't feel like doing the math right now, but it's around there. Now, a little less. Now, that bothered my toe a little bit for obvious reasons, right? Because I was going up and down on where my toe would kind of be there if I wasn't careful. Now, a couple days ago, I stopped wrapping it up. It's been feeling a lot better, don't get me wrong. But it's at the point where I'm like, do I really need these wraps anymore? Because they were annoying to put on. You know, I'm like 245 pounds right now. And, you know, I'm like 5'10". Now, when you're at peak bulk like this, tying your shoes sometimes can be a little tiring. And a little rough to lean over that much that long. I know I'm an athlete, right? But it's the fact. I'm keeping it real with you guys. Peak bulk isn't a very athletic time for bodybuilders. Now, wrapping that toe up every day was awful. You know, I'd have to wrap it every day because you get it wet in the shower. You know, I'm not putting wet toe wrapping in my shoes. That's disgusting. It would just get gross. So I was rewrapping it every day, new gauze, new everything, and it was healing up well. And so far, I believe it's not perfect yet, but I used the Archer test yesterday by mistake, where he stepped on it obviously not on purpose, and I felt it a little bit, but not like I did that second day, and he stepped on it when it broke. So I know it's a lot better. The black and blue is all gone. It's just a smidge swollen, but we're in a good place, man. I'm going to be cautious with those. Cautious with those last 2 moves, at least. Cautious with all of them, obviously, but the hack and the leg press have seemed to be pretty all right because you have to push through your heels on those, where your toes can kind of be up in the air, and it really, I don't want to say doesn't matter, but it's not that big of a deal. So after the calves, we're going to go into inner thighs, outer thighs, the good girl, bad girls. Those, as far as my foot's concerned, won't be a problem at all, obviously. Lastly, hamstring curls, leg extensions. Now, those are going to be fine. So we're here a little later than normal today. We had a late start to the day because I had a lot of work to get done. And I know you guys have heard me said, like, make sure you get your training done before work and stuff like that, but, you know, I had a meeting to take. And when you work for yourself, you know, you gotta take your meetings. I'm all good. Oh, we got the same good parking spot as yesterday. Ooh, beautiful. Instead of hunting, we're right in the front. Oh, that's nice. Whew. But, where was I? Oh, leg extensions. Yeah. So leg extensions, hamstring curls. Those always felt really good, obviously because there's no toe pressure on your toe. Now, one thing I'm mildly concerned about, I think it'll be okay. It's more going to be a little annoying, if anything, is the gym itself. I'm sure you saw in the videos, they're blowing out one of the walls. They bought the property next door, and they're expanding it, which is awesome. Yesterday, I trained arms. So I was on the total of the side of the gym. The leg room just smelled like paint because I'm assuming they're painting the other room. And it's just like a tarp divider, if you will. So I'm hoping the whole gym doesn't smell like paint again. But I think it'll be all right. You know, worst case scenario is going to be more annoying than anything, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But until then, I think it's time to smash our pre-workout, get in the gym, and let's get after it. So, once again, that almost opened up all over my car. I felt the little thing come up for a sec. I pushed it down. You can see it moving a little bit. Applied nutrition, all black everything, pre-workout. We have 2 scoops of the Tiger's Blood Pump, 1 scoop of the Cherry Cola Stim, 1 scoop of the creatine plus their peptide blend. All right, listen for the pop. It's going to be a big one. Pooh, baby. Cheers, my friends. And on that note, I'll see you inside, and let's freaking get it, baby.
Strong, John. Come on. Look at that, folks. No legs. Come on. That's bodybuilding, folks.
So it was leg day today. Whew. My muscles are obviously a little depleted on the upper body side because all the blood was in my legs. But I ate the majority of my meals. What did I just do to my computer? Right here at a little stool on my island. But I'm going to share it with you. So this is probably one of my favorite meals of the day, and I'm starving, so I'm going to make this quick. We have one of those Oikios, 23 grams of protein. We have 7 egg whites, liquid, give or take. It's 30 egg whites in here for the day. Now, my pre-workout meal is 30 in there? Yeah, it's 30 in there for the day. It's 14 egg whites. Then I'll do 7 with another meal, 7 with another meal, complemented with the Greek yogurt, followed by, boom, 2 cups of jasmine rice, about this much rabbit food, and some taco seasoning. Now, man, I don't eat vegetables at all, but I will say I've always had kind of like a bit of a dry mouth problem that makes it pretty hard to eat a lot of my food, which is why I blend a lot of my meals and so on and so forth. And that dry mouth problem stems from my nose. But adding a little bit of rabbit food in there, man, a touch of shredded lettuce, there's no fiber, no nothing in there, no calories. It sure does taste good. So, where are we? Cheers. And it's rare that I'm hungry. So, man, I freaking relish the opportunity. But I don't know about you guys. I rarely like to talk while I eat. You know, for me, right now, putting this food down is my job. And you know, it's not a fun, glamorous thing. I just need to get it down. So, a little pro tip for you is, you know, I don't always like to eat alone. In a joking manner of, I'm usually joined by one of the other bodybuilders, some Olympian, and we usually eating together. You know, I'll put some random bodybuilding motivation video on just to mindlessly eat. Man, I was hungry. So you know it was a good leg day, but normally I can only get away with this now because it's rare, like I said, that I'm actually hungry for my food. I'm normally struggling to get meals down. This one's pretty good. I thoroughly enjoyed this meal, but the quantity of what I eat is the hard part. Now, I know what you're thinking. John, 2 cups of rice isn't a lot of rice. And you'd be right. But, you know, it's my 4th meal right now, and we're at the point of the day where our carbs are winding down. You know, my post-workout meal, Archer baby, what are you doing, handsome? My post-workout meal, man, is 250 grams of carbs. While I drink 80 grams of carbs while I'm training too, in my intra-workout. So, boom. Call that a clean bowl. 7 egg whites. My blood sugar's a little funky right now too, so I'm gonna grab. I have, in case of emergency, Oreos. Now, you're not gonna watch me eat all those because why? Nor do I have a lot to talk about. You know, this isn't a random, what are the mukbang videos where people just eat disgusting amounts of food with cues. On that note, my friends, hope you have a great day. Probably the last bit of footage for the day. And I'll see you tomorrow for shoulders. Boom. Leg day successful. I hope you're having a great one.